Namaste, everyone. Welcome and thank you for joining me on the short notice. And that for this session, that I just felt that I wanted to share something very special. And as I wrote to you all on WhatsApp, today it was the Facebook memories that came up on my profile that made me to think about coming to this session, sharing with you all. 6 years back, 2016, on this day, Mohanji had first time came to my home, to our home. And this photo of us, Harish, my husband, and I inviting him, that photo came up. And that just brought a lot of memory in this of this first day, how significant it was, why it was so important, and the feelings of that day just came up. The whole day I've been into that feeling of preparation for that day and what happened on that day. And I thought it's very important for me to share. Maybe I've shared personally, but I think I really wanted to share that. Which 6 years later, I understand the grace that we feel and the love, that unconditional love that Mohanji speaks about, and that he gives without actually speaking much. But when we think, we understand, and it's such a sweet memory to recall. And I just wanted to share that with you all. And I'm sure many of you also would have such memories of meeting Mohanji for the first time, which is, or anything that is significant, which is, close to your heart, even if it is in the past years or days or months. Do feel like sharing that with us. So that will be great. So here I go. I would like to actually share in between when I'm talking. I'd like to share my screen, some of the photos. Also, I will share as I come along. I just wanted to just take 1 minute just to see the link I can share with my friends, the YouTube link. So people who are waiting could also join me on this link. So I'll just take a moment while I capture the link of this session. Who are waiting could also join me on this link. I'm trying to see if I can share. Okay, now I'm ready. And thank you, Tanya, who's on the Zoom. If you would like to ask any question in between, you can raise your hand and I'll take you. Okay, so anyone who is joining me on live YouTube, welcome you all. And thank you for joining me. This is a very, very special day. 6 years back, for the first time ever, Mohanji stepped into our home in London. And it was a very, very significant time moment, because it is Mohanji's homecoming had a lot of significance. It showed many, many things which I not just maybe some things I understood that day, but as days and months and years have passed, I realize it even more. So I would like to share all that with you. Yes, it's very close to our hearts when we meet our guru, when our guru comes to our home. So any of you also have such experience, please feel free to share. And we can, sharing such nice moments just elevates us into that devotion, the bhav, which takes us even more closer. Okay, so to start with, this was in 2016, when I actually for the first time attended Mohanji's retreat in London. I met Mohanji in 2015 in London, but first time retreat I attended. And in the retreat, on the first day, first evening when we all meet, we have dinner, and everybody kind of, cooked some food, and they came those days. And I had prepared a small kind of a, chutney or a side, like a sauce, to prepare, which was a very traditional, typical item from Odisha, from my mother's state. And so everybody was eating that, but also Mohanji had a dinner that evening, and surprisingly he ate that, and he actually complimented it, saying that this is so nice. What is it? So it's just a very simple item. But when I heard that, for me it was wow, Mohanji. First of all, Mohanji tasted it and he liked it, and the next day, I think lunch, because this is an item which stays. It's like pickle, like chutney. So it stays. And the next day also during lunchtime, he asked for it. He said, is that tomato chutney there? And he asked for it. So, and I happened to sit there in front of him, and I was really, speechless, that small things like this can, open up your heart. And this was very new for me to meet Mohanji and, be in his presence. So when he, after he left from London, a couple of months later, there was a festival called Onam. That's, one of the main festivals in Kerala. Kerala, as you all know, Mohanji comes from Kerala, and my husband comes from Kerala. So we celebrate that function, and this festival, basically you invite Lord Vishnu's avatar Mahabali, not his avatar, but he was also that avatar, but Mahabali was the king, and the people of Kerala invite him, and so they cook a lot of variety of food. It's a feast that happens over 10 days, and so usually I usually observe this festival here, and one day I make all this variety of feast, and I invite my friends, and we just enjoy food. And these are typical Kerala items. It's called sadhya. So that year in 2016, probably I prepared that, and I put all that prasad in a plate, and I kept it in front of. I had Mohanji's photo that I brought from the retreat, and so I offered this prasad in a plate and offered to him, kept in front of his photo, and offered from my heart. And then I clicked a photo, and those days I had Mohanji's email ID, and so I sent this photo of Kerala Sadhya in front of Mohanji's photo, and I sent to him by email. And immediately, I think very quickly, Mohanji responded, probably the next day, saying that, oh, this is it is amazing. I loved the food. The moment I got that email response, I immediately a desire came in my head that will I be able to actually cook this food, this sadhya, and serve him directly, not through this prasad and photo, but directly. So that thought came in my head. So that was the seed that was planted in that year, in the month of August, September, I think. And then a month later, in October, it was the Brahmarishi ceremony in Kurnool, which I happened to take part, and I went there. And at that time, I had a wish that, 2017, if Mohanji comes again, then I should remember to, I'd like to invite him to our home. So with that thought, I just, when I got a chance, I asked Mohanji, would you come to London next year? Then he responded, I'm not sure if I can come next year. There are so many other calendar, but we'll see. So when I heard him saying that he won't come, immediately I felt a bit of sadness. Oh, Mohanji won't come next year. And this year when he came, I missed calling him. So, I felt a little bit sad. And obviously, those days I did not know that Mohanji hears all our thoughts and he hears all our feelings. I was very new to all this. So, but I had this thought, I had a desire to call him and feed him. And this, I felt sad that, oh, next year he won't even come to London. But then when I came back from this event, maybe after a couple of weeks or so, I met, Hemant Bhai, and we were talking about that. That is the time when Ahimsa Vegan Cafe, as some of you may know, that Ahimsa Vegan Cafe is a project, initiated or inspired by Mohanji, and some of our Mohanji UK family members have created this restaurant, this cafe in London. And that was the time in 2016 when this cafe was going in full swing to open, to inaugurate. So Hemant Bhai is also involved in that cafe. So he said to me one day, we were going somewhere, and he just mentioned to me that, in December, Mohanji has confirmed that we could inaugurate Ahimsa Vegan Cafe, and he would come to London just for 2 days, just for 48 hours. And when I heard that, it was like, wow, really? And then immediately I said, Hemant Bhai, when Mohanji comes, please, can you request him to come to my home, even if it is just for dinner, So he said, let's see. And then that was the first thing. And I thought, my God, just 2 weeks back when I was in Kurnool, I was feeling sad that Mohanji won't come. And it's like, as if Mohanji heard my voice. Anyway, so I kept, then of course, as days passed, I also wrote to Mohanji saying that, I heard you would be coming to London. So I would like to, it'll be my great honor that if you could come to our home for dinner. And he said, yes, I would love to. So just speak to Vijay and team and organize it. So I was so elated. Then, of course, I spoke to Vijay Bhai, and they said yes. I mean, but Mohanji was just coming for 2 days. So it's not like, he doesn't have long time. But since he said yes, I mean, it's all miracle. Why? I mean, now looking back, I will tell you the story. But the way Mohanji, just coming for 2 days and saying yes, that he will come to my home and all that. So then it was just 1 month. I had to keep on pinching myself that it is true that Mohanji would actually come to my home. And so the day was coming nearby, close by. And then I was thinking of obviously making this whole feast. And, there was one item in that. I'm sorry, I'm giving all these details, but this detail nuances as small, you feel Mohanji's grace and the feeling into it. So I'm taking you through in detail. So one of the items that's prepared in that uses yogurt or curd. Because curd is used a lot in South Indian dishes. So this is one item that uses curd, and I tried getting those days soya yogurt, which was very sweet. So it wouldn't go with the taste, the authentic taste of that item called avial. Okay, so it's a mixed vegetable, but in the gravy of yogurt and coconut paste. So I tried with almond and soya yogurt. They were very sweet. So I was thinking in my head, oh my God, how the taste would be. And I wasn't very conversant, expert in vegan cooking. There were, of course, now today I have alternative, but those days I did not know. So I was thinking in my head, how would I make avial without yogurt? Okay, so this was this was my main stress, main worry that time. Okay, so the day came when Mohanji was supposed to arrive in London Heathrow, 14th of December. And that also, the previous night, I did not plan, and I'm very last minute person. So I thought it would be good. I don't know when Mohanji is arriving in Heathrow. Maybe I should have gone to see him or welcome him. And then I just messaged Vijay Bhai in the evening that when is Mohanji coming? Is there a possibility, that chance that I can come to the airport? And then he said, yes, it was very early morning, 7 o'clock or something like that. Mohanji was arriving, and he said, he was going, and because he would bring back Mohanji. So, somebody else also was there with him. So we don't know whether, more people can come in his car. Though Vijay Bhai and I live very close by. So then he said, okay, let me check. If possible, maybe it is not possible, but if possible, I will write to you. So I just assumed that it will not be possible because, it's not nice that so many people crowd in the same car that Mohanji will come back with him to Vijay Bhai's house. So I just assumed I'm not going and I slept off. But actually, Vijay Bhai around 11:30 or near midnight had written to me a message that I can come and he will come and pick me up. But of course, I had gone to bed and I had not seen the message. The next morning, I woke up, I did some work, and then I checked my messages. And I saw this message that Vijay Bhai said that he will come and pick me up. And it was just 15 minutes. And, that day I had not even taken shower. I had just freshened up and then I saw the message. It was just 10 minutes and he would be there in front of my door, and I had no time. Quickly, I just changed my clothes. I didn't even have time to, brush my hair or something like that. And he was in front of my door. So I just rushed. But the whole excitement of meeting Mohanji in the airport was too much that I said, anyway, it is, cold winter time. And I just went, even without taking shower. So we arrived in the airport, and it was such a beautiful thing. I'll just share now quickly some photo. Um, eh, right, here you go. So that's Mohanji arriving at the airport, London Heathrow Airport. And here is the team of us who had gone to invite him. And here am I. You can see from my face, not even taken shower early morning, but you can see, I'm sure you can see the joy in my face. And it is so amazing to get that hug from Mohanji and look at how passionate, how inspired he is. So it's just amazing. Welcome. To and as I was walking from the airport, I told him. So he said, Mohanji, remember, he said, so I'm coming to your home for Sadhya. I said, yes, Mohanji, tomorrow evening you'll come. And then he said, I'm looking forward to. I said, Mohanji, I have a stress. He said, what is it? I said, how do I make avial without yogurt? To make it vegan, I cannot use yogurt. So how do I make avial without yogurt? I was such a silly talk. And then he says, but use yogurt. Why will you not use what will be avial without yogurt? Please use yogurt. So I was, he didn't say alternative on it. He just knew that, I was so stressed or whatever small thing, but he said, go for it, use it. What will be avial without yogurt? And then, and then of course, I sat in the same car. We came and Vijay Bhai dropped me first in my home. So Mohanji was still there in the car and he said, oh, this is your home. So I said, and I'm coming here tomorrow. I said, yes, you're coming tomorrow. So it was such a, to see Mohanji so casual and so simple, so humble, and so ordinary that he makes you feel so comfortable with him. You're not even thinking that, oh my God, this is my guru, this is some great master, but he just makes everything so ordinary, right? So anyway, so that's how it happened. And the next day was a big day because that day he inaugurated Ahimsa Vegan Cafe, and in the daytime, and in the evening he was supposed to come to my home. The whole day I was busy in making this feast, so I didn't even go to Ahimsa Vegan opening ceremony. For me, it was making that feast that I had the dream of making it an offering to him. So I felt like like I'm Sabari and Ram is coming to Ram is coming, and I was preparing all my food. So I prepared all the so many items and the whole feast of Kerala Sadhya, and I kept it ready. And then I got a call from Vijay Bhai saying that Mohanji takes his dinner early in the evening, around 6 o'clock. So we come to your home at 7 p.m. So he would probably have his dinner and then come to your home. We had also invited some of the close, UK family members to there, so that Mohanji is coming. He's not just coming to see me. We'll have a small satsang, and then everybody will have this dinner, the feast. That was the plan. So everybody was supposed to come at 7, and Mohanji to come at 7:30, and we'll have a small satsang and then dinner. So when Vijay Bhai said that, oh, he will have his dinner and then come, you can imagine it's like somebody pour a gallon of water into that fire. All my excitement just went down. I said, what? All this I have cooked, Mohanji will not eat. What have I cooked it for? And then I said, okay, I mean, what can I do now? So Vijay said he may just taste some. I said, okay, that's fine. For me, it's more than enough that he's coming, and okay, even if he tastes some, that's okay. So and we all started preparing the place, the room. Some of the friends came, and all people gathered here, and it was like a festive. I changed everything in that room. So again, let me share some of the photos now when Mohanji came. And yeah, so you can see that moment. I'm sharing from my Facebook photos. So okay, that's once he was inside. That's my family that time. My children were so small. They have grown a lot now. Okay, so this was a little flower decoration I had made in front of this was the altar I had put that time. I had got this Guru Parampara poster from when I went to Kurnool. I kept Baba's murti there and the lamp ready for when Mohanji comes. I would request him to light it. This was my small altar. Nowadays, you see my altar with Mohanji's photo and a lot of things. So, yeah, and here he goes. So the doorbell rang. Harish opened the door, and there he was standing. Mohanji was standing, and of course, we welcome him. Both my children also welcome him, and then I did Arati to him. I was shaking. I was really shaking. I couldn't believe, that Mohanji physically was standing in front of me. My finger shook when I was applying the chandan to him. Then he came inside, and he actually did the flower, gave the flower to the photo and light the lamp as well. And then there he was sitting, he was addressing all the people. My most favorite photo, as you can see here, the feeling, his face is just out of the world. I mean, I don't know, this was probably in one point of time when there was some bhajans or something going on, but it was really beautiful to see that. Okay, and here he is reading. This was my translation in Odia of Power of Purity Meditation, which he had told me the year before when I met him in 2015. That was on a Guru Purnima day, my first meeting with him, and he had said, please translate Power of Purity in Odia. But it took me 1 year, but at least when he came, I had done it, and I handed over to him just to touch. Obviously, he cannot read that language, but for me, it was a big deal that, I fulfilled his command, and I handed over to him. So that was extremely important for me. We had such amazing time. You can see here, the family and friends who had come. We are all gathered here. So the chair that day that we bought this chair when he sat, and that chair is what you see always, when I in other videos and photos. That chair is still there. Mohanji, whenever comes, he sits there. So that became, once he came and sat, that is his permanent position now in my home. So yeah, I mean, you can see the joy. Okay, now coming to here. So what happened is, we were talking, and I thought that, probably, Mohanji had already had food. But after an hour of talking and laughing, he was on a roll. He was like Krishna, and he was making everybody laughing and rolling on the floor. And oh my god, I couldn't believe. I had to, like, I was standing back and I was just pinching my hand that it is all true, that Mohanji is sitting, and so much of laughter, so much of joy. It is unbelievable, unbelievable, beyond my imagination. And then there he goes. After 1 hour, he calls me and says, Subhasree, is food ready? I'm feeling a bit hungry. I did not eat anything. And I go like, wow, what, really? And I'm thinking, you already had food. He said, no, you called me for Sadhya. I'm waiting for Sadhya. Oh my God. Can you believe that? He created such a Leela for me, telling 1 hour back that, that message came that he would come after having dinner and he will just taste. And I was so disappointed, but I pushed aside that disappointment. But now saying that, is the food ready? I'm hungry. And that was like, uh, that joy of a mother that flew, it just flowed from my heart. And I said, yes, Mohanji, please come. Food is ready. And then I served him. Then he said, he obviously asked other people. I'll share some photos again now. He said, people, some people come and sit with me. I'm not sitting alone. So, many people sat with him, and I served him. And as I was giving him food, as you can see, he was so much, he was eating like a little child, honestly. And he said as well that, when I'm eating this food, it reminds me of my mother's food that I used to relish in my childhood. And listening to that, here you can see people sitting around him and eating. When he said that, I was just, speechless. He said that. And not only that, yeah, here you can see the first photo when he's offering to God, as he always does. And yeah, so and as he was finishing some items, he used to ask me. So some of the items he even, asked me two times, three times as well. So that, like, really showed me that, not only he said he liked it, he actually showed that he ate nicely, and asking me, multiple time. Uh, that was just mind blowing. I mean, you can this, when I'm serving here, my hands were shaking. I was actually not even in my body. I was just floating. I was just thinking, is it all true that he's sitting and he's eating, and not just eating but enjoying and relishing? It was just so so amazing, that feeling. And so then in the end, I said to him, thank you, Mohanji. This was my desire, my dream, that I could cook for you and offer you sadhya. And you came and you had it. So it was, my dream come true. And that too, when, you came suddenly. So he said to me one statement, which is very, very important. I will remember all through my life. He said, when somebody calls me, thinks of me from heart and calls me, I have to come. I had to come because you called me, from your heart. And then thinking back, how this whole trip, that he was here just for 48 hours in London, in that short time he came, and all these things, happened, that he came and he had dinner. And he even changed his normal schedule of eating at 6 p.m. He waited till 9 p.m. and asking and eating like a little child. I really felt how Sabari must have felt when Sabari fed food or fruits to Ram in those days. I could feel that love from my heart, feeding Mohanji. And that actually opened, it was obviously a dream came true. It happened. The desire was fulfilled. Mohanji energized my house by coming there for the first time. As I said, the seat is there, the room is there. That place, temporary altar, became a permanent altar there. And since then, Mohanji's energy stayed in my home. A lot of growth happened, the 6 months later, next year, he also came again to my home and stayed. So that, and since then he has never left. He lives here. I mean, as if he also lives wherever he goes. I'm not saying he only lives here, but he lives here, and we all feel his presence in my home. And there in that room, whenever we sit down, for meetings, for meditation, for kriya together, I do Maitri sessions there. So we everybody feels Mohanji's presence. And he, so many times he says, after that, so many times he's come and stayed and lived here in this house, and he sits there in that chair, and he always says, I never leave from here, right? I always, you see me here, right? Don't you? you know so yeah, so that was the first time when he came, and he stayed here, and he's here, he's always here. So it's a great start. It's something, not something that he came and he left, and desire fulfilled, dream true, come true and finished. No, it did not finish. It is the beginning of it. It is a beginning of a great relationship, eternal relationship. Also, it was always there, but I did not understand before. I am understanding. Coming back to food, so from there, uh, from there it started. Something really amazing, that the next year when he was coming, he agreed to stay in my home, and he stayed here. So again, cooking and feeding him. And then when we went for retreat, I also cooked for him. So from there, I was going to Serbia this next year again. And I thought, I know now, things that he loves, especially dosa. And in Serbia, you don't get dosa batter. It's not easy. But from London, it's so convenient for me to take the dosa batter, to take those Indian vegetables, things that I can cook for him. So I usually the first time I was traveling to Serbia after this in 2017, I actually carried a whole bag of food items that he loves. So I had dosa, I had all these vegetables, Kerala style, and I really 3-4 days I was there. I was cooking for him, and really pampered him. So he was so happy, like a little child. I was more happy that he is eating nicely and he's enjoying the food. I'm sure he was just doing it to make me happy. Not that he doesn't depend on food anyway, but the love that comes from cooking for him, and when he eats so nicely with his hand, with his fingers, his home food, I really love watching him, and making dosa for him or whatever food that he loves. So it just started that process of going to, whenever he's in Serbia, if I could manage, I go there, and even if it is just for 3-4 days, I go take the food items, cook for him, and serve him. And that's, for me, it obviously it doesn't happen too often, but it gives me such satisfaction, such fulfillment, such contentment to serve my guru in that simple way. And I'm so grateful that he allows me, because at least I'm meeting him few times. I know thousands of devotees who don't even get to see him, and it will become more and more difficult. I don't know what opportunities I got in the past, whether I'll get in future, I don't know. But what I received the opportunity to cook for him, to feed him, and all the people, family around, I think it just happens with grace. Sabari, it was not coincident that Sabari could feed the fruit to Lord Ram. Ram was avatar. In those days, Sabari, many of you who don't know the story of it, Sabari was just a tribal lady, old lady. When Ram was in exile, he was roaming around the forest. He happened to go there, and Sabari offered him fruit, but every fruit she would check first that whether it is good quality for Ram, and she used to feed that with love. The essence is of the love, the affection, the compassion of a bhakta, a devotee to the God. What I felt in this life, in this yuga, for me, this avatar called Mohanji, I felt the same devotion of the love that I feel by feeding him, even if it is simple food. And the fact that he he allowed me to do this. He gave me the opportunity to cook for him. And I'm not the only one who cooks for him. There are many people, but all of us who cook for him, we know how great, how blessed we are to be able to cook for him and offer him food. He also said me once that of course, when I go to Sarba, it is not just Mohanji, it's all everyone who is there, everybody gets the food, everybody loves it. And he said to me that many times, and even this time recently, he said, I like your food because you have a great ingredient in that food that you cook, and that is your love. So that's why I love your food. So it just makes my heart open to hear this, that he feels that love that I feel for him, to which I put in the food. And then he also said once that when we feed our master, our guru, and the people, he also ensures that my family, my future generation, no one will ever be hungry. No one will ever be lack of food. So such blessings is happening when we are giving food. It is not just the joy of joy and the devotion, the compassion that comes, but also a great spiritual bank balance that comes with it, such cleansing that happens, such abundance that comes. So I'm so grateful today when I look back 6 years back, that day, this particular day, this time, as I'm talking 9 o'clock now, this is the time when I was offering him that food. And 6 years now, it is so amazing. I feel and look at this space where I'm sitting now, this dining table, and that how much Mohanji has graced my family. Amazing grace, how the our connection has grown, how much cleansing that he's brought, how much transformation that he's given me, how much elevation. I see life in a much different way now, and all this has happened through his grace, and that he has allowed me to. So only one word that comes is thank you, because I don't know how else to express this apart from I'll feed him dosa once again, Mohanji, when you come next time. So and all the people. So I was just grateful. I just thought I will share my story. And thank you, all of you who are here with me on Zoom and watching me also live on YouTube. It's a simple story of love that connects all of us together with Mohanji. And the love that beyonds all boundaries, loves that doesn't have any particular definition. It can be as simple as cooking and offering him food, to doing big things for his mission. So I'm just grateful to be a small, tiny instrument that Mohanji has allowed me to do whatever. And I'm ever so grateful for every little joy, every little happiness that he has given me in any form. Thank you, Mohanji, and thank you all who are here. If anyone wants to ask any questions or share anything or your own experience, please feel free. You can unmute yourself and speak. And yeah, if not, we'll close the session here. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this, this story, this walking through the memory lane. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you. Thank you for your love. Thank you. Wonderful. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night wherever you are. A good day. Thank you, Mohanji. Lots of love. I love you.